Good morning. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. It is another bullish day in the crypto market. We got lots of big news to cover, some very bullish news. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Tobias, Spain in the house. Welcome in, Tobias. I've yet to visit Spain. It is on my list. I do love Spanish food for sure. Caution. How are you, Caution? XRP New Zealand, welcome in. Good to see you guys. Welcome in. Another bullish day in the crypto market, folks. Welcome in. We got lots of bullish news to talk about. Hit the thumbs up button on the way in. Caution from India. Welcome in from India. Mo, welcome in. Mom, Bristol, Indian. Oh, Bristol, England. That was good. Taco, alpaca. Let's see, BK. Oh, thank you, BK. I appreciate those kind words. Thank you so much. No more rat race. Wow, he says no more rat race. He said I retired at 33 years old because of crypto. Wow, good for you, man. Michael M, hello from Oregon. Welcome in. Crypto Rafi from Netherlands. Welcome in. Inage. Welcome in. Tobias says your sound are a little off. Is that better, guys? I put my mic closer here. Is that better? Hopefully that's helpful. Ashraful, if I'm saying that right. Welcome in. Esther, hi, how are you? Welcome in. Hit the thumbs up button on the way in. Hit the heart button wherever you're watching or listening. We got lots of bullish news to talk about, folks. Okay. Danny, thank you so much for that kind note. Danny XRP. Appreciate that. All right, we'll let a few more folks get in the stream here. It's a bull market, so I'm going to be streaming more often now, guys. I think I'm going to stream every Monday, and if the market's going really crazy, stream even more throughout the week. But definitely want to do some on Monday mornings. This way, we start off the week really well. I feel really good about where we're at in the market cycle, and things are starting to align. And there's a bullish setup happening, so really excited. Thank you, Caution. I appreciate it. Matt G, welcome in. Good to see you. All right, guys, let's talk about what is happening. Bitcoin this morning hit $69,000 once again. If you look at the daily chart, we're seeing a bit of a bullish setup here. I think we've hit the low for this respective time frame, or what we've been seeing over the past 5 to 6 months. 5 to 6 months, excuse me, with the pullback from the March highs. And I think Bitcoin is ready to move out of this boring accumulation zone. So this is just a thesis. I could be wrong. I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm going according to what the data is telling us here. And we see the low that was put in March with the Japanese yen carry trade. And we've been since making higher highs and higher lows. That's a very good sign. We're stair-stepping our way out of this annoying zone, which has been boring as hell, right? Look at this sideways chop for 5 to 6 months. I mean, pretty much 6 months. Just crazy. But guys, I think a move through 70K is coming, with Bitcoin moving up to maybe 80. And different factors are aligning to that. We got the election coming up, so the uncertainty of the election will be moved out of the way. And you can see here, Bitcoin on the daily, its RSI has room for it to move up. So there is room for it to break out of this and go to maybe 80K or higher. We'll see what it decides to do. But if you're holding altcoins, that's good, because the liquidity enters Bitcoin and then goes down to the altcoins. And one of the good, or another important factor that's really good, is the DXY. Look at the DXY. It is super overbought. That is not a sustainable place for it to be in. It went parabolic. So anything that moves like this, regardless of the asset or currency, will have a correction very soon. So it's setting up to break down, folks. And we're starting to see some weakness there, where it's breaking below, that high of the RSI in the daily chart. You can go look this up yourself on TradingView. You can go study the textbook. This is a textbook overbought scenario. So a breakdown is coming. If you look back in the history of the DXY, anytime it's moved like this and its RSI has hit that overbought zone, it's not going to stay there very long. Just look, once again, you can look at Bitcoin, you can look at the DXY or other currencies. It will break down, and you know what that means. It's going to be full risk on. It's going to be very bullish for Bitcoin and altcoins. So the setup is happening here. This is not my feelings or emotions. This is what the charts, the signals are telling us. And once again, and you have macro factors like the election, global liquidity continues to rise. So these things are all conducive to higher prices. Now, my hope is that Bitcoin moving to 69,000 today, it continues that move and it's able to break 70 today, or if not tomorrow. And it needs to break through 70, guys, as a key resistance. And then, of course, go into price discovery. And my hope is that that price discovery takes us up to 80K. Maybe there's a bit of a pullback. So let's say it moves up to about 80K, a bit of a pullback, sideways consolidation, then moves up to 100K, so on and so forth. Because nothing goes up in a straight line. So expect that there's going to be pullbacks. But one of the great things is that it's going to benefit altcoins. And many of you know, I hold different altcoins: Ethereum, Solana, XRP. I got some Cardano, some AVAX as well. I got some Chainlink. I'm very bullish on Chainlink. And I did add some SWI to my portfolio recently, because I saw some really nice movements on SWI. I see a lot of liquidity going in there. Aptos has been doing well. I don't hold a token, but earlier this morning, I published my interview with one of the co-founders of Aptos. So be sure to check out that interview if you want to learn about the project. But they're doing some big things. This morning, actually, there was some news that, let's see, I think it's, USDT Tether has now arrived on Aptos mainnet. So you're going to be able to use USDT on Aptos. So once again, I don't hold a token. I'm just sharing the news with you guys. Some of you may hold a token. It's not possible to hold everything, right? You don't want to spread yourself too thin. And look, I'm going to try to consolidate my portfolio, maybe rotate some of my profits as Bitcoin moves, but we'll wait and see how the market pans out. But anyway, guys, things are looking very bullish here. Titan of Crypto, who's a great analyst, highlighted with the following chart. Bitcoin's setup has been in a textbook falling wedge pattern. So if everything continues according to plan here, this will be a continuation of a move upwards. So you can see that by the textbook, it's happening. So very, very bullish setup here with multiple charts and signals telling us these things. One of the things I've been looking at is what are the whales doing? And based on data from Sentiment, they continue to accumulate Bitcoin. It's been a slow, steady grind up from the drop that we saw back in March. So let me actually zoom out a bit here. So if you notice, after March, it started, there was a decline. The whales started selling because there was a move up to new highs there. So as always, the markets can't keep going up in a straight line. The whales recognize that, hey, this thing is going to top out by, because different metrics are showing us that. So let's sell. And then what are we going to do? Start accumulating again. So this is how a lot of whales and institutional investors play the markets. Now, some are long-term holders, don't get me wrong, but those who are trading the markets, they look at all of these different signals. They look at the sentiment, what retail is doing, and the different on-chain metrics. And because they know it can't just keep going up, it's not sustainable, they take profits and then they rinse and repeat. They start buying the lows again, and you see the accumulation is increasing. So they're preparing for higher prices. It's textbook, guys. This is how they play the cycles. In addition, we see that the supply on Bitcoin exchanges has been dropping. It means that they're buying the Bitcoin, they're pulling it off the exchanges. They're not sending it to the exchanges to sell. And back in the February-March timeframe of this year, guess what? The supply was being added back to the exchanges for them to sell. So these are the different indicators and signals that you want to look at to form your thesis and see the market holistically. You can't just look at one indicator, one metric, one factor. You have to look at it all to see the full picture of what's happening in the market. So these are the different things I'm looking at, and it helps me to navigate the market to get a sense of what's happening. Now, I've often stated we don't have a crystal ball, so we have to use the different metrics and data, but we don't want to use our feelings. Our feelings can fool us because we're human beings, and we can get very greedy and we can get very fearful. But that doesn't mean, is not an indication of what the market's going to do. The market is using different factors, and there are different reasons and so forth that we have to pay attention to, not our feelings. So I hope that's helpful for some of you who are new to the market, that we want to look at data and the metrics. Some of the other signals that I like to look at is the Pi cycle top indicator. We are nowhere close to the top. As you can see here, historically, when you have the cross of the 111-day moving average over the 350-day moving average, that indicates the top. Now, are we getting close? Yes, but we're nowhere near it. So this thing is going to go into 2025 for sure. How deep into 2025? That's the big question. We have to watch it closely, because this could easily start swinging up very fast based on how Bitcoin moves. Because what we saw at the beginning of this year, folks, when in doubt, zoom out, Bitcoin ran up incredibly fast, faster than it's ever done in its history, hitting a new all-time high ahead of the halving. So it was way ahead of schedule here, hitting that 73K before the halving. It never did that before, and it could move very fast again, right? I just don't know. The Bitcoin ETF buying really changes the game. Now, it doesn't throw off the entire cycle. I don't want you to think that it broke the cycle and is doing something new. It adds more, I would say, speed to the market, because there's so much buying. You have institutional buying now. So, but guys, according to normal cycle pace of the bull markets, this consolidation, this 6-month consolidation and sideways movement has put us back on track. We're on pace. So it's almost like we're normalizing here. But once again, if something ridiculous happens, like Donald Trump becomes president or something like that, and the United States starts buying Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset, that is a game changer, because then you're going to have tons of people trying to grab up as much Bitcoin as possible, and it's going to be a buying frenzy. So these are things we have to keep in mind and be prepared for. And what you can do to help you navigate these things, start having a journal or a Google Doc and just write down these principles and these thoughts, so that you can go back to them when you start to feel super greedy or fearful, whatever it is, so that they can help keep you grounded, folks. It's important to do that and to look at these different metrics. So things are looking very bullish. And speaking of whales accumulating, just to give you some data here, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF has been buying non-stop. It was just reported the other day that BlackRock bought 4,371 Bitcoin. They now hold over 400,000 Bitcoin. Larry Fink is buying the Bitcoin you're selling. just so you know, FYI. And so is Fidelity. So all the ETF issuers are buying up. Fidelity bought 852 Bitcoin. So this is on-chain data, on-chain metrics. So the data doesn't lie, and I hope you guys see what's happening here. And one of the interesting things is that BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, for the most part, I would say 95% of the time, has been seeing inflows and not much outflows. Something is gearing up here. Larry Fink, he knows obviously a lot. He's connected to the government and so forth. I think he knows something is coming around the corner, whether it be legislation or the United States does something or world governments do something, and they are not selling. And I don't want to get too conspiratorial, and overthink it, but I'm watching what they're doing, not what they're saying, right? What is he doing? They're not selling. They're just buying. And the other ETFs issuers, they have seen some outflows quite often, when the market dipped and so forth. But BlackRock, they're not seeing that. It's very interesting, folks. And I think it's telling. And this is why I hold Bitcoin. I'm diversified and I hold some altcoins. I don't have a religious attachment to any cryptocurrency. I just look to make as much money as possible and make as much returns so that I can better my financial lifestyle and have more financial freedom, and help my family out and all those things. So that's my plan, guys. And here's some more data showing the accumulation and buying of crypto. October's crypto investment inflows climbed to $3.4 billion after $900 million added last week. This is according to CoinShares. So we are seeing a lot of liquidity flowing through this asset class, folks. So digital asset investment products attracted another $901 million worth of net inflows globally last week. The positive flows and Bitcoin prices are driven by Republican poll gains again in the U.S. election, head of research James Butterfield said. Now, here's the thing, guys. I don't agree that this is something having to do with the election. I actually tweeted about it today. Bitcoin has pumped under Obama, Trump, Biden, and I don't know who's going to be president now. Some people are saying Trump. Obviously, there's people who say it's Kamala Harris. Bitcoin is not tied to a president or a political party. It is tied to global liquidity. The more they debase currency, and both Republicans and Democrats both fire up the money printer, Bitcoin's correlated to that. And we've seen it. It's what it was created for, to be a hedge against that money printing and debasement by central banks. And both presidents, whether they're Republican or Democrats, they all fall under the fiat money system. It's a global thing. And I know there's narratives out there. And look, as human beings, we like narratives. We like a story, right? But if Trump wins or Kamala Harris wins, the Bitcoin's going to continue to move. Who's president right now? Biden. What has Bitcoin done since the bottom in 2022? It has pumped to new all-time highs. So once again, it's not correlated to the president. It is, if they keep printing money and they keep debasing the currency, Bitcoin will move. And that's a hard truth for many people who are very politically focused and they only see the world through the lens of politics. But what you miss is that the debasement of currency happens under both governments, and it happens globally, right? So that is the thesis you need to keep in mind. Now, I want to caveat that. Will Trump be better for the crypto businesses in the US? Absolutely. So I want to make sure I'm balanced here. I think it would be better than Harris, because I don't know what Harris's plan is. She never put anything out. She never said anything about crypto, while Trump and the Republicans have put information out. But at the end of the day, that alone is not going to drive Bitcoin and crypto up, because it's not the main catalyst. The main catalyst is money printing and debasement of currency. So I hope you guys understand. Once again, keeping it balanced, that Trump, I do expect to be better for crypto businesses, especially that he said he would fire Gary Gensler, right? So that's definitely a factor. But the main factor that you need to keep in mind, both Democrats and Republicans print money. They print money. That is what drives global liquidity. That is what drives asset prices. So don't get too blinded by the politics of all these things. And I'm not saying politics is not important. I'm not saying you shouldn't go vote. Please don't get me wrong, right? But as it relates to assets and the markets, money printing, keep that in mind. Okay, so lots of liquidity coming in, lots of money. VanEck's Matthew Siegel went on CNBC this morning, and he said the setup right now is looking very bullish, like it did in 2020 into the election and post-election. So a lot of people are recognizing what's happening on the charts. You're going to see a lot of experts go on TV now, start talking about Bitcoin. Just the other day, we saw Paul Tudor Jones, billionaire Paul Tudor Jones, went back on CNBC talking about Bitcoin and crypto. He did this in 2020. I told you guys, I think that's a signal. Watch more billionaires start going on TV talking about Bitcoin. You know how it is. They talk their books and so forth. Now, one of the things Matthew said, and I had him on the podcast, by the way, earlier this year. He's head of digital assets at VanEck. He said Bitcoin will be worth $3 million and used as a global reserve asset by 2050. I think he's right. I don't know about the price prediction, but I think it will be used as a global reserve asset. Once again, look at what BlackRock's doing. Look at the proposals being put together by Trump and Cynthia Lummis. I don't think that's by coincidence. I think it's a narrative that's being laid, and this is going to be the future. Hey guys, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button on your way in. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the heart button wherever you're watching or listening. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, Uphold, Gemini, VeChain, BitGo. Links will be in the description. All right, let's continue, guys. Look at this news. Very bullish out of Hong Kong. Hong Kong Stock Exchange to introduce price indices for Bitcoin and Ether next month. To my OG subscribers and listeners, what have I been telling you guys since 2017? Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be listed on the stock exchanges, and all the big financial institutions, stock exchanges, banks, and much more would be offering crypto. It is happening. Excuse me. So Hong Kong, under the control of China, is doing this. Remember, Hong Kong is now controlled by China. And I think it was last month, I did a email newsletter where I predicted within the next 6 months, China would open up Bitcoin and Ethereum trading via ETFs to the citizens of mainland China. I think it's coming. And Hong Kong is laying the groundwork here. So Hong Kong Exchanges and Clearing Ltd announced that the HKEX Virtual Asset Index Series will go live on November 15th. The new indexes are expected to provide a single reference price for Bitcoin and Ether during the Asian time zone. Folks, why would they be doing this? Some people say Bitcoin and crypto is a scam. It's a fad. It's going to die, right? Why would they be doing this? Why is the NASDAQ doing this and New York Stock Exchange and so forth? They've been doing the same thing. This asset class is here to stay, and it's only going to continue to grow in adoption, and people are going to continue to build on blockchain. I've been telling you guys for years, we're headed to the token economy, everything running on the blockchain, 24/7 trading, 365 days per year. No more holidays, no more opening and closing bell, no more weekends and so forth. You're going to have 24/7 trading with traditional assets on the blockchain, in addition to cryptocurrencies and digital assets. And that's where we're headed. So I hope you guys see what's happening. The infrastructure is being built for all of these different things. Now look at this. This is even more bullish. Hong Kong eyes tax breaks for crypto, more trading platform licenses by the end of the year. I want the United States to get some tax breaks for crypto trading, because I'm looking to take profits in 2025. And capital gains taxes are going to hit us hard for those of us in the United States. I think the news came out the other day that Italy was going to raise taxes on Bitcoin trading or crypto trading or something like that. And I'm like, that's such a dumb move. But you can see the global competition that's playing out here, right? All of these countries and jurisdictions want the businesses, they want the revenue, they want the capital to flow through their economy. And like I said, we're headed to the token economy. So if you have traditional assets on the blockchain, and you are offering favorable trading environments, with lower taxes and much more, that's going to be good for your economy, folks, and it's going to create jobs and all of that. So this is why we need the United States to move, man. They got to, well, I know some of you are listening from other parts of the world, so I'm going to be biased to the United States because I live in the United States. But the point is, things are headed in the right direction for us here, folks, with the embracing of crypto globally, and it's going to just result in higher prices. We're just seeing the on and off ramps being built, and clear legislation and much more. So the Hong Kong government's treasury chief said the city will extend existing tax concessions to cover cryptocurrency investments by the end of this year. The regulators also plan to approve more crypto asset trading platform licenses by the end of the year. Folks, I am so bullish. And one of the great things about this asset class, it is truly global. It is not a United States asset class, a China asset class. So you could be in any part of the world, and if you have a smartphone and internet connection, you can buy a fraction of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, whatever it is. It's not like you have to put $1 million. You can literally put $20 into each asset and be part of the asset class. There's never been anything like that. And in the history of the world, let's be honest, right? And the internet allowed that because now you have these hard cap assets, but most of them are hard cap. You have the real-time verification. It's on the blockchain. You can see the transactions, the wallet addresses, and so forth. And you can see the actual supply. You can verify versus, some people may say, well, dude, what about precious metals? That's a global market. Everybody has gold and so forth. Yes, but it's not 100% global. It may be, I would say, 50% global, right? But you don't have a real-time tracking and verifiability of gold or silver and other assets like that. Now, I do believe gold and silver will go on the blockchain, but at the end of the day, there's still the gap of verifying, okay, you have 100 gold bars. How do I know that's true, right? Yes, you can put that on the blockchain, but I still need some sort of verification. There's still that gap versus Bitcoin. Everything is on the blockchain. There's no like real world tangible asset that I can't see because it's locked in a vault. It's just all there on the internet. So that's what makes this asset class very unique and game changing, folks. So I'm so bullish, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you're bullish. Hit the thumbs up, hit the heart button, hit the 5-star rating, wherever you're listening or watching, if you're bullish, guys. Let's see here. Just looking at some of the comments. So DotKid100 says, is that pie chart free, Tony? So let's see here. The pie cycle top indicator. Yes. So let me drop it in the chat here for you guys to go check it out. I'm dropping the link in the chat here. So it's bitcoinmagazinepro.com/charts. And it's free. So you can, there's different metrics here too, like fear and greed index. So these are different things you want to look at. You can see the 20-week moving average heat map as well. Lots of great data, guys. Knowledge is power. Financial education is so important. You don't have to be an expert. I am not an expert in all of this. There's people way smarter than me who study these things every day. But you at least have to have an idea of what's happening, a general idea of what the chart is indicating and where it's come from and where it's going, right? And what are the historical patterns. You can do some pattern recognition to help you understand. And it does take time. You skip the Netflix show, skip watching TV, and just sit down for a few hours and read through these things. It is really important, guys, because if you're looking to really make money in this market and you're serious about it, you want to at least have enough information, enough knowledge to be dangerous. Once again, you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to go on TV and talk about it, right? Excuse me. But at least know what's happening here. And this way, also, it can help you to, flag if someone is lying to you or bullshitting you. Like you can look at the data and say, hey, Tony, this is right, or no, Tony, you're wrong. I want you to do that because it's important for each one of you to learn. And if I'm human, I may make mistakes. You can correct me and say, hey, Tony, that's wrong, man. How you're looking at that data is wrong. It's supposed to be yada, yada, whatever it is, right? I hope you guys get the idea here knowledge is power. So definitely study up on these things and learn what's happening. Now, billionaire Peter Thiel, who we know is very bullish on crypto, his fund has invested in many different coins and companies. His fund, Founders Fund, invests in Infinix Patron NFT sale as total amount raised hits $67.7 million. So are NFTs back, right? Is the NFT market back? Look, for the record, I don't hold or I haven't invested in any NFTs. I have some NFTs I got for free, but I don't have them as investments. Now that could change. You know, I've not really gotten any inspiration, or I haven't seen anything that I'm like, you know what, I want to invest in this as a collectible that I'm going to hold. Maybe I might look into something that Beeple's doing, because, you know, he has recognition as an artist. So I think that's more of it. Like, is it something rare? Is it from someone very notable who has a lot of influence? Or is it like a random startup artist? Nothing wrong with, you know, an artist who popped up and decided to do NFTs, but I need to feel it. I know this is very different from what I tell you guys about crypto assets, about ignoring your feelings. But from an art collectible standpoint, it's something that has to interest me. So that's where I'm coming from as it relates to NFTs. So please don't get me wrong. When it comes to tokens, I don't use my feelings. I use the charts. I use the tokenomics. I use, you know, the different factors, adoption, and so forth. But NFTs, I don't know. I haven't gotten the inspiration, if that's the word, to take a position. But anyway, so Founders Fund has invested in Infinix's new patronage fundraising model, which sold Patron NFTs to venture capitalists, angel investors, and the community. The Patron NFT sale completed on Monday with a total of $67.7 million raised. Now, to my point, I'm going to research this news and try to learn more about it. You know, maybe there's something here. Maybe there's something billionaire Peter Thiel knows that we don't know, and that NFTs may be due for a comeback, but in a different way. And I believe in NFTs as with utility. They have to be able to do something in addition to the collectible aspect. But I think the collectible aspect is going to be a small market. But the utility aspect needs to be the driving force. So, for example, I don't know, you go to a concert, you go to a special movie opening, you get NFTs, and then that continues to unlock benefits and perks for you. And then you can rent it out and earn or resell it at a certain value. You know, you go to a baseball game like Richie Torres, scolded Gary Gensler, scumbag regulator Gary Gensler at that hearing. You go to a Yankees game, you go to the World Series game, you know, Dodgers and then Yankees are playing. You get a special NFT, and that continues to drive utility because it continues to unlock things for you. And like I said, secondary and tertiary markets, maybe you can lend it out, sell it, whatever, whatever it may be. But I have not, like I said, gotten the inspiration to invest in anything NFT wise. But if that changes, I will definitely let you guys know. Guys, hit the thumbs up button, hit the heart button, hit the 5-star button, wherever you're watching or listening. Thank you. Please, so you can support me by just doing that. It will really help out the stream. I told you guys about the news already with Aptos and USDT going on there. Like I said earlier, I interviewed one of the co-founders of Aptos. That interview was published this morning, so go check it out, guys. And don't forget to check out our sponsors, Uphold, Gemini, VeChain, BitGo, and also you can grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto, on Amazon. And our newsletter is 100% free, includes a lot of insights and knowledge and much more. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing here. So Bitcoin, like I said, we are waiting for it to break through 70K, looking good on the charts, higher highs, higher lows forming. And as mentioned before, that liquidity will flow down to the alts. And the DXY showing some weakness there on the daily RSI. Very good setup here as the election uncertainty will be removed in about a week's time. All right, I can answer some questions. If you guys got questions, drop them in the chat. Let me update my view here. Let's see. There we go. Matt G says, "Hi Tony, do you think XRP case will be dismissed if Trump wins?" Matt, there is a very strong probability that if Trump wins, it can, because Trump said he would replace the SEC commissioner, or the SEC chair, excuse me, Gary Gensler. So most likely he will appoint a Republican chair, and we know majority of the Republicans. Let's say he appoints Hester Peirce. I think there's a strong case that they're going to dismiss that lawsuit and probably do a settlement. I don't think Ripple will be off the hook completely. They'll have to pay their settlement fee, but I think there's a high probability, Matt, that this thing would be wrapped up. So Trump coming into office will be very good for crypto businesses. But as I said earlier, the asset prices are correlated to global liquidity and the money printing. And actually, let me pull up here the Fed M2 money supply. I'll just show this to you guys so you can see what's happening here. Look at what's happening here, guys. This is the Federal Reserve website. You can go look at this. This is free. Look at that. M2 on the rise. In addition to global liquidity on the rise, in addition to China's doing epic stimulus, all of these things are conducive to higher prices for Bitcoin and the altcoins. RLC Cuber says, "Hey Tony, when do you think X will have payments launch?" That's a great question. I think it's coming probably in 2025. What we're seeing, let me set the table here. What we're seeing is the start of the next economic boom cycle. I know people are saying recession and all that, but the point is the Fed is over the hill with regards to quantitative tightening. They're ramping down, they're hitting the brakes on quantitative tightening, obviously cutting rates and all of that. And then they're going to go back to full money printing. Now, what may happen in the short term, you may have some sort of crash or some narrative war or whatever it may be, and they'll fire up their money printer, and that will drive the next economic boom. So that is one part of it. And businesses recognize that there's a boom and bust cycle. So you have the business cycle that's going to return. Notice how Elon and Tesla and SpaceX all of a sudden started doing all of their announcements and so forth. That was timed. They know the deal. You don't try to push products and so forth when people don't have money, when there's not enough borrowing or lending and all that. You try to do it in a favorable environment. So the businesses are recognizing the next boom cycle is coming. And I think with that context now, Elon is probably going to try to launch something next year, especially with the election out of the way. We know he's been actively campaigning for Trump and so forth. So I think we could see it next year. They've accumulated a ton of money transmitter licenses, and we know Elon, he likes to time things with the crypto market. So if he's doing stuff with blockchain and stablecoins and Doge, he's going to do it when the market's ripping. We saw it in 2020, Tesla holding Bitcoin and so forth, right? So that's my long-winded answer for you, RLC Cuber. Zach, let's see. Pennywise says, "Let's talk Chainlink." Yes, let's talk Chainlink. I am bullish on Chainlink, guys. Chainlink made me a nice return in the last bull market cycle in 2020, guys. It was, similar to what Solana and Sui are doing, where the liquidity is hitting those altcoins. Chainlink was doing this in 2019 into 2020, and I thankfully caught the wave and I made some nice returns. Chainlink has broken out from its bear market bottom, as you can see here. And boy, if it hits at least, let's see, the top of the 2.618 Fibonacci, that could put it at $130. Now, there's no guarantee it gets there, right? There are different factors. There's more supply of Chainlink or Link in the market. So I'm going to start taking profits definitely at $100 for sure. Actually, excuse me, not around $80. I said 100. But at the 1.618, because you just don't know if it's going to do what it has done in previous cycles. So this is looking good in my opinion. And I like that it's showing some strength here, even though there was a slight pullback. But it's building up for it to move to new highs. And we'll see. I am a holder of Chainlink, so I want it to do well. But as always, I like to caveat that there's no guarantee that it has to go to these Fibonacci zones, or what we would ideally like it to. So that's something to keep in mind. And there has been some very big news around Chainlink and Swift. I think they made a very big update this past week in addition to what they've been let's see what they've been teasing to us over the past year. Let's see. Yeah, it's the CCIP. I believe Swift is tapping into that. I apologize, I don't have all the information in front of me, but it's happening. So Swift is partnered with Chainlink to try to catch up with the disruption that's at their doorstep. Remember, Swift is just made up of the global banks who use a messaging system, but the settlement is out of date. While you have, let's say, stable coins where you can do instant settlement, and of course sending crypto assets, you can do instant settlement. So anyway, I can't find the news here, but there was some updates around it. But anyway, long story short, I am bullish on Chainlink, and I think it can break $100 this cycle. Once again, not guaranteed. That's not a certainty, but I would be a very happy man if Chainlink breaks $100 this cycle. Zach B says, current thoughts on HBAR. Any interviews on the books with anyone from the HBAR team? Zach, that's a great call out. I need to get them back on the podcast. HBAR has been doing some great things. One of the cool things, guys, that I track on Santiment is a partner of the podcast, by the way. If you want to sign up with them, you can check out the link in the description. Is that HBAR has been seeing a lot of development activity on their platform. So let me clear this up here a bit. It's one of, and don't get me wrong, they're not the only one, but they've been seeing a lot of activity, which is really great. It's a little bit of a lag here. They're very busy. Okay, here you go. So let me try to clean this up for a sec. I don't know why I didn't do that before. Maybe I didn't hit apply. I didn't hit apply. Or there's a lag. Okay. Notice we just talked about Chainlink. It is number 2 in developer activity. So check that out, guys. This is developer activity over the past 30 days. ICP Internet Computer is leading right here, number 1. Let me try to zoom in here so you guys can see this, hopefully. Number 2, Chainlink. Number 3, Hedera, HBAR. Very good sign. Cardano at number 4, Optimism at number 5, Kusama 6, Polkadot at number 7, Ethereum at number 8. Ethereum jumped up a lot recently. Number 9, ZK Sync. Number 10, Starknet. Cosmos at 11. SUSD, I don't know what that is. That's definitely a stable coin, I think, but I don't know what the hell that is. Synthetics on Ethereum at 13. 14 is Status. 15 is Avalanche, and 16 Apto, 17 Sui. So what we've seen historically is that when there's a lot of developer activity and even user activity, that is good for the price. It is not the only factor. There are multiple factors: tokenomics, token releases, adoption, and so forth. But this type of activity is a very good sign for price action. So really good stuff here. And I'll try to get someone from Hedera back on the podcast. I've interviewed Mance Harmon and the other founder and all of these guys. So I'll try to get some folks back on. Eric says, hey, Tony, should he be holding our XRP or lending it on the DeFi platform? And if so, why? I'm not sure who you're talking about, Eric. When you say he, who is that? I'm not sure who you're talking about. Matt G says, you think AI will be the best performer, or at least the top 3 performer in this bull run? Great question, Matt. I agree with you. It will be top 3. It's hard to tell if it's going to be the best because we've seen meme coins do like some crazy moves, right? And I'm like scratching my head, man. And I don't want to hold like these random meme coins, but I hold the FET token. I hold Render. Now FET has been renamed to ASI, the Artificial Super Intelligence Alliance. I hold this token. It has made me money already. I took some profits at the beginning of 2024, and it was a great bet that I took because I saw the AI narrative, and I have Render as well, and Render has been doing well. So, Matt, to answer your questions, I do believe AI tokens are going to do well, and I think liquidity will continue to go into them because there's just a massive narrative that reaches beyond crypto. It's in the stock market with Nvidia, right? And other things. AI is just everywhere now. So I think it's going to do well. But, as always, diversify, because I may say that based on what I see now, but things can change. But, I do think there's a high probability of it doing really well. John Doe says, have you seen PEP on FL? Are you talking about Flare? It looks like a sus token. A lot of liquidity came out nowhere, seemingly. Yeah, John Doe, I'm not sure. I haven't heard about that, so I'm not sure. Are you talking about a meme coin on Flare? Demo says, hi all. When do you think we will see a $1 XRP? So, Mo, we have to wait essentially for. Let me see here. We have to wait for Bitcoin to move. And do I think there is a high probability of XRP breaking at least $1? Oh yeah, of course, because dollars, it's pretty easy. There's no like major hurdle here for it to do that. The question, as I highlighted with Chainlink and so forth, is how high will it go? If we go off of the high that was set in 2020, and that was obviously hindered, it was a roadblock because of the SEC lawsuit, we could see an XRP around $5 or so, possibly higher, right? It just depends. Or if it goes off of the high in 2018, that could go higher, but I'm gonna play it conservative and say we may see like around $5, right? But no guarantee, no certainty. This is why you diversify. There's no guarantee that it will do that. And I say that for every coin. So just keep that in mind, because sometimes you give price predictions and people are like, oh yeah, it's going to $5. No, it's not guaranteed. But that's the potential it can reach based on the Fibonacci model. There are other factors as well. Some people are calling for $10. I would love for it to go to $10, right? I would be very happy, guys. It would be amazing returns, to put it lightly. Okay, let's see here. Crypto Believer says, Tony, can you change FET over to ASI? Yes. So there's a Telegram group, and make sure you verify, right? Verify that it's not a scam group, because people try to create fake groups. You can convert it, but I think it depends where you hold the token. So like, I think Coinbase didn't participate in carrying it over unless something has changed, but just do a lot of research before you move your tokens, depending on where you're holding it, so that you don't lose it or you don't get scammed. Okay, be very careful, because there's just tons of scammers who try to impersonate things. So let's see. Crypto Seed says, hi Tony, your takes rumors on XDC platform and sale due to the slow network expansion. So Crypto Seeds, I'm actually going to have someone from XDC on the podcast. So I'm going to ask them the questions about that. I don't have enough knowledge about the situation, but I'm going to get that information for you guys. I'm going to interview one of the folks from the XDC Foundation. Let's see. Thomas Chiclana says, hi Tony, anything on XLM? Are you still a holder? Thomas, I do have some XLM, but I'm not really a big time holder or anything like that. I'm a small time holder. They have been getting adoption, which is good. And what we've seen, it's kind of weird. XLM kind of moves in the same pattern as XRP. So you can see here, it hasn't done anything. It hasn't really broken out from its all-time lows. There was a small movement in 2023, a small spike up. But other than that, man, it's got ways to go. But once again, we're still waiting for the massive liquidity to come in through Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, if you look at it, has only retraced back to, I mean, obviously it broke the all-time high, but it's still relatively in the same range. And we need massive liquidity to come in to drive it up. If you go back to 2020, right, we're right here, October 2020. We need this, all right, guys? We need this massive move to the upside. Let me just mark it here on the charts for you guys. Let's see, October 28th. We are right here, folks. Right here. I mean, that's literally where we're at. So this is why people are like, why hasn't my coin moved? Why hasn't this and that and yada, yada, and all that, right? It's because we haven't seen the bulk of the liquidity come in. And even though Bitcoin has moved off its lows, it has not set a new massive all-time high. Obviously, it went like a few $1,000s over the old all-time high, but that's nothing, right? You need more. So as Bitcoin starts running up, guys, and we're headed to, I don't know, 150K or whatever it is, the liquidity, the money starts dripping down to those alts. Rinse and repeat, guys. You guys know the deal. If you've been a subscriber to this podcast, we talked about this ad nauseum. So we're waiting for that liquidity. H Ayan says, what's good, Tony? What's good, pimp? What's up, guys? What's up, man? Hope you guys are doing well. Hit the thumbs up button, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the heart button, hit the 5-star rating wherever you're watching or listening. That will really help me out, guys. Thank you so much. Be sure to check out our sponsors, Uphold, Gemini, VeChain, BitGo. Links will be in the description. Grab a copy of my book if you can. Sign up for my free email newsletter, guys. All right, let's answer some more questions here. Let's see. Let's see here. Tony, where is the meme Trump MAGA coin going? Jason, I don't know. And I don't hold any meme coins, so I don't really track them. So I'm the wrong person to ask, my friend. Chicken Tonight says, Tony, could you please interview BitTrue Exchange? They don't have a CEO in the company. Really? I didn't know that they lost their previous CEO. They fired him or something. I haven't heard about that. Booze says, I guess you don't like Near. Oh, I like Near, but I can't hold everything. Like I said earlier, Near is definitely a solid hold. Don't get me wrong. And I don't hold it, right? So I'm being as transparent as possible. Near is one of those AI coins that have been doing well also. Similar to Fetch and Render, right? The AI narrative. And look, A16Z has a big position in Near. They're backing it. So usually things that A16Z backs, it's going to do pretty good. This is one of the factors you got to look at, VCs and the liquidity they're putting in. So Boozy, I'm not an anti-Near or whatever. I just don't hold it. Let's see. Ash Raham says, Ripple is supporting Democrats, so boycott XRP and Ripple. Ash, as I said at the beginning of this stream, crypto is correlated to global liquidity. It is not political. Crypto is not Republican or Democrat. And both Democrat and Republicans print money. And as I shared with the M2 money supply, that's what this asset class is correlated to. Obviously, adoption and these different things drive the price value, but all these assets are correlated to global liquidity. Let's see. London Kid says, if you were wealthy, would you still be a YouTuber? London Kid, I've made money in this market, but I'm not wealthy at all. I still have a mortgage, but am I in a very good financial place? Yes, thankfully, knock on wood, right? And I'm not saying that to boast, but I've had to take my my hits in this market. I started investing in this market in 2016, made a little bit of money in 2017. But if I wasn't as afraid and I spent more time educating myself in 2017, I would have made a lot more money. I made some money in 2020, and I'm looking to make more money, even more returns in this bull market cycle, where I can eliminate my mortgage. I can put a ton of money to my retirement and have more financial freedom. Now, to answer your question, would I still be a YouTuber? Yes. Here's why. I'm a person that likes to create. I growing up, I love to draw and paint and stuff like that. So doing content feeds my soul, if that makes sense, right? It's nice that I am able to earn a living off of it, thankfully, right? But if I could have, if I wasn't making a ton of money, whatever it is, but I was okay financially, I would still be doing this because I find it rewarding, and I find it that it feeds my soul. And it's also just sharing what I would normally be doing. So would I be looking at the charts investing? Would I be looking at what the on-chain metrics and what Bitcoin whales are doing? Yes. So sharing that with you guys in an open forum like YouTube, it's not hard because I would be doing it anyway, if that makes sense. So I'm looking at these different data points and so forth, and obviously we're all here to make money, right, guys? So that's a great motivator too, to learn the markets and learn what the masses don't pay attention to, and to be a contrarian. It's a great feeling, in my opinion. So yes, I would still be doing this. Let's say I become wealthy, would I own other businesses and do things? Yeah, but I think I would do YouTube, because also the way the world is moving with decentralized media, it's a great way to build your personal brand and to get information out there. So I would definitely do it. All right, guys, I'm gonna do this for another 5 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna wrap up. I think we are hitting it close to an hour now. Let's see. Ryan Buell says, we confirmed the breakout from the triangle on the 4-hour chart. Let's go. Yeah, things are setting up really nice, guys. It's setting up really, really nice. I like what I'm seeing on the charts. And obviously, got to still be patient. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, with the election uncertainty out of the way, that's going to really help markets. The DXY, extremely overbought by the textbook. This is not sustainable after doing a parabolic move. The entire month of October will start to break down. Again, you can go look this up. Look at how these patterns historically, look at the textbook. It will start to break down. That's going to be very good for Bitcoin and risk assets. Michael M., thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Chicken tonight. I'm not sure what you're. Wait, I don't know if you're responding to someone else. Demo says, "Hi Tony. If Brad's weeks, not months comment holds true for RLUSD launch, it will need to launch before Monday next week, just 1 week." Yeah, we'll see. I think it's gonna be good, especially with stablecoin legislation around the corner. Let's see here. RLC Cuber says, "Hi Tony, coming to the UK anytime soon?" My brother-in-law lives in the UK, so maybe next year we'll go visit him. I have never been to the UK, by the way. I've been to Italy, but I've not been to the UK. XRP New Zealand says, Tony will be streaming from his mega yacht in 2 years. You know, XRP New Zealand, this may change, but I don't find a yacht appealing. What I find appealing, and this is, I guess it's because we're all influenced by our upbringing and our background. I find having no debt and having the freedom to do what the hell I want better than a yacht. Now, don't get me wrong. If I get like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos money, then yeah, having a yacht makes sense, right? But I just don't want to have debt, and I want to have my retirement set and do what I want, be a YouTuber versus having to work for someone, right? And being able to travel more. I love to travel. So that will be like my yacht. I can just, hey, next month I'm going to go to the UK, and the other month Australia, right? And try different foods and experiences. That's what gets me happy, man. If I can do that, that'd be awesome. Let's see. Alex says, hey, Tony, I haven't prepared any questions this time, but I would like to thank you for your contribution to my personal education and to other people who need it. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. And I'm glad I'm able to add value, because that's definitely rewarding. And I'm here to make money. I know many of you are as well. So I'm just sharing the knowledge, things I've learned and what people have showed me and have taught me. So happy to help out. Guys, I'm going to wrap up. Once again, check out my sponsors, Uphold, Gemini, VeChain, BitGo. Grab a copy of my book if you can. Sign up for my free email newsletter. Links will be in the description. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. As always, I wish you the best of luck in this bull market, that you make really great returns, big returns, and that can help you towards your financial freedom, because this is certainly an opportunity of a lifetime. Friendly reminder, have a plan. Write it out. What price points am I taking profits at? Things will get greedy again. Remember, it's going to get euphoric, and then it almost seems like it's not going to stop. The price is just going to keep going. But remember, there's a bear market coming. So have a plan. Take your profits. Don't get too greedy. No one can call the exact top. So you have to ladder out the same way you ladder in. So dollar cost average out the same way you dollar cost average in. That's so important. And be sure to pay attention to the metrics, not your feelings and emotions, right? Watch the charts and so forth. Thank you guys. Appreciate you all. And I'll talk to you all later.